Hi, YouTubers. I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Boy, yesterday was a bad day for the airline industry. Two planes hit turbulence where many people were injured, and one plane even crashed. Two of the flights were in Hawaii. The first one I'm going to talk about is Hawaiian Airlines flight that hit severe turbulence Sunday and left multiple passengers injured. There was severe storms. Honolulu's emergency service director said it could have been much worse. Here we have some images of the lightning storm that went through there yesterday. Hawaiian Airlines flight carrying 278 passengers and 10 crew members from Phoenix, Arizona to Honolulu experienced extreme turbulence at 36,000 feet just before 11 a.m., airline officials said. This here is one of the crew members. I believe they were injured. The aircraft declared an emergency and made a direct approach to Daniel K. Inouye Airport for landing. Honolulu Emergency Medical Services and American Medical Response initially responded to reports of 36 people on the flight needing medical attention, ranging from 14 months old, calling it a mass casualty emergency. Patients suffered cuts, including to the head, as well as bumps and bruises. Some people were nauseous and vomited as a result of the extreme motion, he said. Evidently, when they hit the turbulence, many of the passengers did not have their seatbelt on. This here is an image of the galley. I hope that is ketchup that is on the wall. 20 people were rushed to the hospital. Of those, 11 suffered serious injuries, but not critical injuries, and 9 had minor injuries. 3 Hawaiian Airline employees were among those hospitalized, so that was probably one of the injured crew members. John Snook, Chief Operation Officer of Hawaiian Airlines, said it was the worst case of turbulence he's seen during his time with the company. Here is an image of damage to the roof, the ceiling of the aircraft, when people were flung up into the air. Yeah, they went airborne. And you can see how the ceiling there is all dented and cracked. Jim Ireland, director of the Honolulu Emergency Services Department, feels fortunate the injuries during the flight were not more severe. Here's another image of the cabin damage. So Snook must have been either on the plane or someone closely associated with airlines, because he insists that the fasten seatbelt sign was on during the bout of bad weather. Yeah, there was many ambulances lined up outside of the airport picking up those that were injured. The incident happened as the National Weather Service reported Sunday that a strong cold front impacted Hawaii on Sunday, with damaging winds, heavy rain, severe thunderclouds or thunderstorms, and flooding in parts of the state. This here is an example of the plane. It's an Airbus 330 wide body. It is used for across the oceans for long distance travel. It has a large fuel capacity, but surprisingly, it only has 2 engines. Here's another example of that type of aircraft. According to FlightAware, there has now been 104 flights that have been delayed because of weather, and 8 flights have been canceled. I'll give you a link to this so you can look it up yourself, because they got other airports and different information for other things around the country. Also there in Hawaii, the Coast Guard has suspended the search for a missing medical plane that went down also yesterday, I guess by Maui. They were going there to pick up somebody to transfer to a local hospital, and since the initial search, debris and oil has been spotted out in the ocean. Now, that was on Thursday night. Working with the U.S. Coast Guard assets, the Hawaii Wing Civil Air Patrol and Coast Guard Auxiliary conducted a total of 28 searches over a course of 67 hours, covering over 4,732 square nautical miles. The searches were suspended after those hours and miles of searches until more information came where debris and an oil slick was spotted out in the ocean there. The 3 people who were on the aircraft, who are now presumed dead, have not been identified. This here is an image of when the aircraft lost contact with the radar, and then the search area where they were looking for the missing plane off the coast of Maui. The third air incident, paramedics responded to George W. Bush International Airport in Houston today, Monday morning, after 5 members and crew members were injured on a United Airlines flight. United Airlines said 5 people total were met by medical personnel and taken to a local hospital with minor injuries due to unexpected turbulence during flight UA-128. That consisted of 2 passengers and 3 crew members. The flight arrived at IAH from Rio de Janeiro, and initially they said that there was 11 passengers on board and to have medical services available when they landed. Not much you can do when you book your flights in advance and then severe weather happens. I would just keep my seatbelt buckled up all the time. So what are your thoughts? My prayers to those that lost their life on that medical air flight. Yeah, that's very sad. Please stay safe, and thank you very much for watching. God bless you all. Bye.